Honeybees, of course, are very important for pollinating plants, but also the honey, I think, is important. We've got some interesting things going on in Texas right now, and maybe other parts of the South as well, in that the Africanized bees are coming up in crossbreeding, it appears, because some of the honeybees are getting more and more aggressive. In most cases, it's not anything to worry about a whole lot, but if you do have a big hive that sets up at your place and they seem to be really aggressive, it might be a good idea to call somebody that's an expert out to take a look at it, because if they come after you in a swarm and they are Africanized or crossed, you can get injured. Not as bad as you can from some other insects I'm going to show you, but it's something to at least keep an eye on. Now, wasps are another insect that, another group of insects that I have trouble convincing people how beneficial they are. And my own family, when I have a great big paper wasp nest over the doorway, they have a hard time getting used to that, especially if the door kind of rakes a few of them off each time you open it and close it. These guys are really, though, very non-aggressive compared to some other wasps. Most people call this yellow jacket. It's not a yellow jacket. It's paper wasp. It's the one that you see around the house under the eaves and inside of cabinets and things like that. They are only aggressive if you threaten them. If you threaten them, like hit them accidentally or something like that, they're going to come sting you. In fact, I was doing a TV show once, and I was really being a smart aleck, and I was just raking my finger across, touching them and showing how gentle they were. And one came down and stung and hit me and stung me, just to say, hey, stupid, don't do that. And they can adjust how strongly they sting you. It stung enough to get my attention, but didn't hurt much at all, and you weren't even sore the next day. If they want you to be sore the next day, they can make it that way. This is the cicada killer, and that's the cicada next to it. And you can see the cicada killer is a pretty big wasp. Not aggressive at all, although they try to intimidate you. They fly around about this high and all around you, and especially if you get near that hole in the ground where it looks like a crawdad's been in there. They make great big holes, throw the soil out, and that's where they've got their young. That's where their nest is. This is a female. You can tell by the sharp pointed tail. The males have a blunted tail, and they can't even sting. This wasp can sting you. I've never had one person tell me they've been stung by it, and I think the only way you could be stung is if you grabbed it and held it in your hand. So don't do that. But they're fascinating. They will sting the cicadas, and the cicada is paralyzed, and you can tell the cicadas are bigger than the wasp. And what she does, the female, will take off flying with the cicada, and she'll fly until she crashes because she can't really go that far with this big weight. And then she'll crawl up a tree again and do it again. And then she'll crawl up another tree and she'll do it over and over, and dragging the thing part of the way. Finally getting back to the hole, feeding it to the young is what that's all about. You're not ever going to control cicadas totally. Don't even think about trying. It can't be done. The cicada sticks that piercing mouth part into the stems of trees and sucks juice out, but it never really does enough damage for you to worry about at all. And the only way you can control them is if you were spraying and killing all the life in your garden. So you don't want to even attempt to do that. But the cicada killers keep the populations, in reasonable check. So you never want to hurt them.